All right, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of the game. In this video, I'm excited to introduce a whole new mechanic to the game, which I hope is going to create a little bit more strategy, a little bit more depth, and hopefully a lot more fun. Definitely more precision in the game, I believe. So you can see that the setup is a little bit different. I have these two pieces of paper here that are normally not there. Otherwise, everything else is the same. I'm going to be playing a series between the Dodgers, actually probably multiple series between the Dodgers and the Padres from 2023. This game was played on May 12th, but you can see here that this is all completely different. I have my two pitchers here, so home and away. Home and away. And I guess I could switch those, but I won't. Yeah, I could switch those. I like to kind of have home on the right, away on the left. So hopefully it won't get too confusing. So there's it only is more confusing because I have to figure out a layout for the tabletop. So that's the only thing. Hopefully this will be incorporated into a larger game board type system that everything can fit in its own little place. But, baby steps. That's what we're hoping for with this game. So hopefully you can see everything. And what this is built off of is it takes the pitcher stamina number. You can see we're going to start at their stamina numbers. Hopefully you can see that. It's a 21. And you can see it goes all the way up to 35. I think the largest stamina number is 27 for a pitcher in 2023. But you can see that there's going to be the ability to sort of go up with the number as well as down. So I wanted to make sure there was enough room to be able to go up if necessary. And maybe it should only go up to 30 because, at least for modern seasons, 35 might be a little overkill, but this would be enough if we're doing older seasons as well. So we have Blake Snell, and we'll just use him as the example. His stamina is a 23, so we're starting him off at a 23. And for every batter that comes to bat, we're going to subtract 1. And we have a little key down here, and you can lop that off once you understand which one, so it won't be quite as tall. I'm keeping it on there just to keep it top of mind. But you get a -1 for every batter faced. So every time he faces a batter, there's a -1. There is a -1 for every walk. So this is going to be very similar to the old Status Pro system from what I can see. Not the same, because I don't know that there's the ability to add to a pitcher's stamina in Status Pro. Maybe you can correct me on that. But from what I've seen, I don't think there's the ability to add, only the ability to subtract. So in this game, you can add to the stamina or you can subtract. So the player's stamina is going to kind of fluctuate throughout the game or stay the same. These are a couple of things that are not necessarily part of the game yet. So it's a -1 if the weather is hot. So there will be some weather checks, like pregame checks. That's just not incorporated into the game yet. You can see this is how the piece of paper comes. So you just put your pitcher right there in the little box. And then there's a -1 if the pitcher is making more starts than his actual number of starts. So if he started 18 games and he's on start number 19, you would pregame subtract 1 from his stamina. So he's starting to get sort of above his workload. And so that's kind of what that is simulating. But we can also add. So instead of only subtracting, you can also add. So there's a +1 for a strikeout. So let's say the first batter of the game, Snell strikes out the batter. So you take 1 off for the batter faced, and then you add 1 for the strikeout. So essentially he doesn't change his stamina if it's a strikeout. You can get a +1 for a double play. So this is on any double play, whether it's a fly out and throwing the runner out, or a line drive double play, or a ground ball double play. You can get a +1 for a double play. You can get a +1 if no runs are scored, and the bases are loaded. So it doesn't matter how many outs. If you have the bases loaded and you get out of that with no runs scored, you get a +1. And then I don't have it on here, but it should be for a 1, 2, 3 inning. You also get a +1. So if there's a 1, 2, 3 inning, then the batter or the pitcher, instead of losing one, basically stays the same. And then I've included mound visits, which I haven't fully incorporated any of that yet, but you could just do a mound visit and say, okay, in this moment, I'm going to do a mound visit, and that would give the pitcher a +1. One of the places where I could see that being really important is when you get down to a 0 or a 1. If your pitcher gets to 0 and you're facing a tough batter and you want to keep them in there, do a mound visit. It bumps him up to a +1, and then now he still has the ability to control the at-bat. And then if the weather is cool, which I think is, I have to think about like what cool would mean. I would think 60 to 70 degrees. But if the weather is cool, then, those are sort of prime time pitching conditions for most pitchers. And we'll give you a little bit of a stamina boost. A lot of players will tell you that it's, it doesn't take as much out of you in that 60 to 70 kind of cool range. So even 50, 55 to 65, something like that. I don't know what the ranges will be, but I have to come up with good ranges for the different players. So this is just going to be a way to kind of track the pitcher's stamina, and it allows, these pitchers should be able to, if they struck out every batter, they would never move their stamina. Not realistic. It's also not realistic. They're going to strike out every batter. So you're going to see their stamina move throughout this game. And you'll also see it kind of not move. So if Blake Snell is striking out a lot of batters, or May is striking out a lot of batters, then you're going to see that their stamina is not going down quite as much. And this is based off of, I try to think about what actually is going to affect a pitcher's stamina. One is the physical part of it. So there's a physical part of getting tired. You're just out there throwing pitches and you're exerting effort. It's very tiring to your legs to be able to pitch. So it's going to, just exerting the effort of facing a batter and facing multiple batters or 25 batters or however many you face is going to drain you, right? That's going to be some physical stamina. For a walks typically have more pitches than other types of plays. So pitches per at bat for a walk are typically going to be higher. Just because you have to get to 4 balls, you're typically going to throw more pitches on a walk. So to me, that means I'm throwing more pitches. I'm exerting more physical effort in a walk. Also, there's a little bit of a psychological hit that a pitcher takes whenever he's walking batters. So, and then the other part is there's sort of a positive psychological effect of striking someone out. Strikeouts often take a lot of pitches as well. If you watch the strikeout pitcher pitch, he exerts a lot of effort and a lot of pitches just trying to get people to strike out, because you got to get to 3 strikes. So, there's a psychological benefit, though, of striking people out. And when you're striking out more players, you are feeling a lot better about yourself. So maybe there's a little bit of a boost and you feel like, okay, I'm on my game. I'm striking players out. I'm obviously not allowing runs if you're striking a lot of players out. And then for a double play, that's a huge lift, a huge boost. A lot of times you can get a double play, 1 pitch, 2 outs, that kind of thing. And then if the bases are loaded and you don't allow a run to score, that can also be sort of a psychological lift, as well as a 1, 2, 3 inning. So there are ways for you to sort of gain stamina, or it's more like feeling good about where you are, feeling good about yourself in the game. These are plays that keep you in a game if you're a pitcher for a longer period of time. And so I've tried to take into account sort of the psychological effects, not just physical effects. To me, giving up a hit doesn't mean it should be a knock on your stamina. You could throw one pitch and give up a hit, and it's not really going to physically harm you. And I think for a major league pitcher, giving up runs is probably not that disappointing, so much that it should take a hit on your stamina. So I'm just trying to think about things. Maybe you disagree with that. I used to pitch in high school, and there's a point at which it grates on you, but most of the time it just makes you angry to give up runs. If you're much of a competitor, it's going to make you angry to give up runs or hits, as opposed to mean that you can't continue forward, or it's going to take something away from you physically. So that is the new stamina system, and you'll see how it works during the game. And every time we bring in a new pitcher, we'll reset the stamina to whatever the pitcher's stamina is, and that'll work like that. The other thing that I included that did I print it out? I think I did. It's here. So it's called the Rob home run chart. And I've added it to sort of the outfield and defensive plays charts. So when there's a home run and we roll for the direction of the home run and we get a 6 or a 4, the 4 says just over the left center field wall. The 6 says just over the right center field wall. We're going to have an opportunity in some ballparks, not every ballpark. Obviously, left center in Fenway Park, you're not going to rob a home run. But we're playing in Dodger Stadium, and we're good to go with robbing home runs. I think the fence is like 8 feet tall. So we're going to, I think I'm going to consider everything under 9 feet, because I've seen some players robbing home runs in 9-foot stadiums, like stadiums with 9-foot walls. So we're going to consider everything 9 foot and under in left center field and right center field, which we actually do have those dimensions of the ballparks. And I checked them before the game, and Dodger Stadium is 8 all around. So you should be able to rob a home run in Dodger Stadium. And so we're going to use this chart. So if we hit on a 4 or 6, then we're going to roll to see, because it's right center field and left center field, we have to roll to see which player it is. So is it in left center field, is it the left fielder or the center fielder? Right center field, is it the center fielder or the right fielder? So once we figure out the player, we're going to use the player's range number. So if it's Tatis is a 21 on his range. And we would look here at the range, and then that's what this number is. So greater than 10, that would be Tatis's number. He has about a 11% chance to rob a home run. Feels about right to me with Tatis. And so he's going to go back. If he rolls between a 101 and a 210, then he pulls that home run back. Otherwise, it's going to continue to be a home run as it was rolled. So kind of an exciting play. Actually, the first time that I tried that mechanic, I put it in the game, and then I played a game, and almost like within 2 innings, I had an opportunity to rob the home run. The guy didn't make the play, and it was a home run, but it was an exciting little moment, actually. So I'll have to add that here about on the gameplay sequence chart about robbing a home run. So kind of fun. And there's a lot, like at this point, there's lots of little details that you can add in and little things you can put into the game that I'm hoping, I woke up the other day and I thought you should be able to rob a home run on a home run, which would be really cool. So we'll see how that goes. I think that's the only things different. I'm not sure if I talked about a range check last time, but I've sort of pulled this chart together just a little bit and kind of simplified these charts and squeezed them in, and you can now get them all on one sheet of paper. There's a range check. If on the player finder you roll a 3 of a kind, that means there'll be a range check for that player. So for the left fielder, if we rolled a 444 on a fly ball, then we have to do a range check on the left fielder. So just trying to figure out how to get those ranges into the game so that we can utilize them. So the home run robbing, is one area, and then a straight up range check. And of course, I always had the range check chart here, and then these are the player ranges. You can see they're the same. So based on their player range, then we roll to see if they made the play, or the red is it goes through for a base hit or it falls for a base hit. So some interesting ways to kind of work in the players' ranges as well, whether it's an infielder or an outfielder. Okay, yeah, let's get going on this one. This is going to be the Padres at the Dodgers. And leading off is going to be Tatis. For the Padres, it's Cronenworth hitting second. Machado is at third. He's hitting third. Soto in left field is the cleanup man. Bogarts is at DH and hitting fifth. Carpenter is the first baseman. He is hitting sixth. Ha-Seong Kim is playing short, hitting seventh. Trent Grisham is in center field, hitting eighth. And Brett Sullivan gets the start at catcher. It'll be Blake Snell on the mound for the Padres. Snell a -6 against right-handed batters, -2 against lefties. He's got a really, he's got great breaking stuff. So against right-handers, he's pretty dominant. Mookie Betts for the Dodgers will be playing right field and leading off. Freeman is hitting second and playing first. Will Smith will be catching. JD Martinez, the DH, hitting cleanup. Chris Taylor in left. Max Muncy playing third, and Miguel Vargas is playing second. Miguel Rojas is at shortstop, and Trace Thompson, the number 9 hitter, in center field. So let's get this one going. Got fully caffeinated this morning, so should be good to go. And got all my, I printed off every player and cut them out, so I have every player available. Whether they are going to get in the game or not, don't know. All right, so this is going to be Dustin May. So we're looking Dustin May against Fernando Tatis. And for Tatis against a right-hander, he's a +1. Dustin May is a -1. So it's an even 1 to 10, 11 to 20 on our D20 roll. So we look there first. Excuse me, this is going to go off Dustin May's card, and right off the bat, 8-19 is going to be a hit by pitch as Tatis gets plunked. And he'll be at first base. He steals at a 3. Will Smith, or it's not, yeah, it's Will Smith, right? Will Smith is a +2 throwing. Dustin May is a 0 in his hold. So 3 minus 2 is a 1. And a 1 on the steal is going to be here, 1 to 3. So let's go ahead and try to steal with Tatis, even though Smith's pretty good throwing catcher. It's a 125. Again, we read red, white, and blue, so 125. And he gets gunned down. That's in the red. So Tatis thrown out, trying to steal second. That's out number 1. Again, so 1 batter in. He has to go down. And next up is going to be Jake Cronenworth with 1 out and nobody aboard. A 1 is basically almost always going to go to the batter. 338 against a right-hander is going to be a fly ball. So that's a pop up to third. Catch is going to be made by the third baseman. And that'll be out number 2. So Max Muncy catches that pop up. And it's Manny Machado. Machado a +2 against righty, so he's a 1 to 11. This will go out the pitcher, 697. Is going to be a strikeout. So Dustin May ends the inning with a strikeout of Manny Machado, and that's a we won't call that a 3-up, 3-down inning or 1-2-3 inning because he did put a runner on, but 3 batters come up and 3 batters are outs in this one. But we don't move him, Dustin May, because it would be batter faced plus a strikeout. So just no need to move it on a strikeout only. So we head to the bottom of the first inning. It's going to be Mookie Betts. So you can see he faced 3 batters, but we only had to take 2 off his stamina. So that's kind of how the stamina is going to work. Mookie Betts is a +5 against righties. He's a -6 against lefties, +4. And against a right-handed batter, he's a -6. So it's a 1-8 is the advantage for Blake Snell. Snell's going to have a lot of advantages in this game. So a 7-01 against a right-handed batter is going to be a strikeout for Snell. So he gets it started with a strikeout of Mookie Betts. Again, we don't move Blake Snell on a strikeout. And that brings us to Freddie Freeman. We got a left-on-left matchup. So +3 and a -2 is a 1-11 for Freeman. So this is going to come off Freeman's card. And 930 is going to be a double, as Freeman hits a line drive to left center field. It'll be picked up by the center fielder. That is Grisham. We do a quick check for an error. No error on the play. And Freddie Freeman is aboard with a hit to left center field. Freeman on second base with Will Smith coming to the plate. Smith is a +1 against lefties and a -6, so that's a 1-5. He can get the advantage, but he's going to have it here. 8-19 against a lefty is going to be a single. That base hit is a blooper, I believe, to left. Blooper down the left field line. And we have, on a single, we have a chart here for going second to home. So let's look at Freddie Freeman. He runs at a 1 +1. So a hit down the left field line, a 1-5 base runner is going to be safe. So Freddie Freeman scores on the little bloop down the left field line. And just like that, the Dodgers take the lead, 1-0. Smith out in front of it, but got it down the left field line into some open space. Brings up JD Martinez. Martinez, 0 against lefties, and he's a -6. So a 1-4 would be control for JD Martinez. So 341 is going to be a line drive. That's a liner to right. 942 is going to be a catch. So that's going to be out number 2. And let's see if there's any runner advancement. 536 is here. Runner at first base. No advance. So good catch out in right field by Tatis. He keeps the runner at first base. And there's now 2 outs. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. There's now 2 outs. And Chris Taylor comes to the plate. Taylor in the 5 hole in this one. He's a -1 against lefties. And against righties, he's a -6. So 1-3 for Chris Taylor. 679 will be a strikeout. So Taylor goes down. Snell bookends the inning with a couple strikeouts. But he does give up 1 on the Will Smith RBI single. We're going to leave that there for the strikeout. And we head to the bottom or top of the second inning. 1-0 Dodgers over the Padres. For the Padres, it'll be Juan Soto against May. Soto is a +5 against righties. May is a 0 against lefties, so that means he's perfectly average. So 1-15 is going to be in Soto's direction. 851. Soto against a righty. 851 is going to be a base hit. That's a line drive into left center field. It's picked up by the center fielder. So Soto runs at a -3. He's not going to challenge the center fielder Grisham. The center fielder is Trace Thompson. Thompson's arm is average, so 0. So that's going to be a base hit for Juan Soto. He's at first base. Xander Bogaerts coming to the plate. Bogaerts is a +1 against lefties. He's a -1, so they're sort of, against righties +3. So it's a 1 to 12 to Bogaerts. So this is going to be a 666. Eventually that's going to kick off like a special play, but we don't have that until we get to like the ground ball results or something like that. So 666 is going to be a walk. So trouble is brewing for Dustin May. And we're going to take off 1 for the batter and 1 for the walk. So he loses a little bit there. So runners at first and second for Matt Carpenter. He only faced right-handed pitching. If you get a card like this and he faces a lefty, you would just, and there's blanks on one side or the other, you just go off the pitcher card. So super easy to kind of figure that out. It looks a little bit, I don't know what happens, but just go off the pitcher card and you won't have any problems. So against righties, he's a -1. Against lefties, he's a 0. So he is a 1 to 9 for Matt Carpenter. And a 0-0-2 is going to be a ground ball. That's a ground ball to second base. Play is made at second. And we look at our hit chart. We have runners at first and second. And it's to second base. 970 is here, first and second. So that's going to be a 4-3 put out, a little chopper into the hole on the right side. And the only play is going to be to first base. So you can see a 4-3 put out with 2 arrows advancing is both runners advancing. So the only play is to first. And Carpenter almost sneaks it through, but not quite. And that's going to be out number 1, but both runners will advance on the fielder's choice. So 2 runners in scoring position for the Padres. They do have 1 out. They do have 1 out. And Ha-Seong Kim coming to the plate. Kim against righties is a +1. He's a -1, so they're perfectly even. This comes off of the pitcher card. 059 is a grounder. That goes to second base again. A 935 should be a good play. It will be. So it's picked up by the second baseman. The second baseman is Miguel Vargas. So we got runners at second and third now. So we're in this column with the second baseman. It's a 418. And it's a 4-3 put out. And 1 run. The runner is going to score. And the other runner will advance. So this runner advances on the fielder's choice. This runner scores on the fielder's choice. That's out number 2. And Ha-Seong Kim with the ground out ties the ball game at 1. Trent Grisham up to the plate. Grisham is a -2, so that's a 1 to 8 for Grisham. That's a 6. So 542 against a righty will be a strikeout. So Dustin May gets a strikeout, but he does give up 1 in the inning, and our game is tied now going into the bottom of the second inning, 1-1 on the Ha-Seong Kim RBI groundout. So you can see there's a lot of moving parts in the game. You can incorporate any or all of these You can do an error for every, whatever you want to do. You can make up, ways to do errors if you want. I know some people have a hard time with the errors on every single thing. But really, once you get used to it, unless it's a super high number or super low number, you can just, there are no errors, in the middle. So we got Blake Snell. He'll be facing off against Muncy, Vargas, and Rojas. So Muncy against a lefty is a 0. Snell is a -2, so 1-8. That goes to Max Muncy. He gets control here, 858. Against a lefty will be a hit by pitch. So Snell reaches out, plunks a batter, and Muncy's going to take first. Muncy not a huge threat to steal. He's a -2. He runs pretty well, but he doesn't steal a lot of bags. So Blake Snell to Vargas. He's going to be a 1-4 for Vargas, and he gets control here, 808. For Vargas is going to be a walk, so not a great start here for Snell, as he's going to take 1-2 down. And now Miguel Rojas comes to the plate. Rojas against lefties is a +2. So that's going to be a 1-6 that goes to Rojas. 702 against a lefty is going to be another walk. And Snell really having a hard time here. As he loads the bases with nobody out. And Trace Thompson coming to the plate. This is going to be off Snell's card. 052 is going to be a grounder. That goes to second base. Oh boy, 998. What is the second baseman? The second baseman is Cronenworth. He is a +2 on his error rating, so that's actually really good. We have a 998. It doesn't matter. He's going to make an error. We're going to go E4. Everybody advances. I do believe he gets an RBI for that, but you can see here, even though he's a +2, 981 to 1,000 is an error. So not a huge chance for those kinds of fielders, but he makes the error there. Trace Thompson on at first. Base is still loaded, nobody out. And it's now 2-1 LA. Snell would control again, doesn't matter. 910 is going to be a hit. The hit is a 707. So against lefties, oh boy, Mookie Betts with the crank job. That is hit to straightaway center field. And Mookie Betts goes yard, and that is going to clean the bases. As Mookie Betts brings them all home, and it's now 6-1 Dodgers as they jump all over the Padres and Blake Snell. Tough one there, as Mookie Betts goes to straightaway center at Dodger Stadium. And 4 or 5 runs in. It's now 6-1 LA. Still nobody out. And Freddie Freeman to the plate, a +3 and a -2. So it's a 1-11 for Freeman. That's an 11. 278 is a fly ball. That goes out to center field. 960. Center fielder is going to make the play. That's Grisham out in center field as he squeezes it for out number 1. No error on the play. So 1 down, 5 already in for the Dodgers on the big blow Mookie Betts with the grand salami. Will Smith to the plate. He's a +1, and that's a 1-5 to Will Smith. So this goes off Snell's card. 732 to a righty is going to be another walk. Tough day for Blake Snell. That's his 3rd walk. He's also hit a batter. So 1-2. We're going to do a mound visit. That'll bring him up to 12. But JD Martinez, I think you only get two mound visits, and then you got to bring them out. Something like that. I have to look that rule up. JD Martinez against lefties is a 0. So this is a 1-4, and he gets control, so he does. 805. That's going to be a base hit. The base hit goes to, it's a ground ball to the left side. So we're going to get an advance there. I can already tell you no one's going first to third on a ground ball to left field, directly to the left fielder. And it's just been a tough start for Blake Snell facing the mighty Dodger lineup. Taylor a -1, and so it's a -7, so a 1-3. And Chris Taylor gets control, but he won't. 537 is going to be a strikeout. So a little bit of feast or famine here for Blake Snell. That's out number 2. He remains where he is because of the strikeouts. There are runners at first and second now with 2 outs. 5 in the inning. Muncy against lefties is a 0. Snell is a -2, so 1-8 to Muncy. 664 is 663 is his K range, so that's just into the walk range. Man, he just misses. Good eye there by Max Muncy, and that's going to make the bases loaded again. And next up is Miguel Vargas. Vargas is going to be a 1-4, so this goes off Snell's card. 379 against a righty is going to be a line drive. It's a line drive to right, a 200. Let's check the right fielder. Right fielder is Tatis. He's a 0 error, so a 200 should be a good play. He makes the play in right for out number 3. But the Dodgers almost bat around, and actually they did bat around, didn't they? So they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs, and they take a 6-1 lead. Snell does leave the bases loaded, which is good, but the big grand slam here by Mookie Betts puts them in a deep hole, 6-1 against the Dodgers. For the Padres, it'll be Brett Sullivan standing in. Against right-handed pitching, he's a -1 and a -1. Oh, sorry, he's a lefty, so he's a 1-9. This goes off of Dustin May's card, 442. It's going to be a line drive to right field. Right fielder is there to make the play. That's going to be Mookie Betts out in right. And he catches the liner for out number 1. Fernando Tatis up to the plate. This is off Tatis's card. 994 could be good things. And he's facing a right-handed pitcher. 960 to 1,000 is a home run. So he's cranking one. This is... Okay, we got our first chance for robbing a home run. So this one is a home run. But then we rolled a 4, so it's just over the left center field wall. So now we go to the Rob home run chart. We got to figure out who the player is, I guess. So 1-5 is going to be the left fielder. And 6 to 10 is the center fielder. So this is going to be the left fielder. The left fielder is Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor's range is a +1. So that's the information we need. You could always write your information in here if you don't like rifling through the cards all the time. So the ball is up and deep, and Chris Taylor's going back on it. This is in left center field wall, or at the left center field wall. We're here, so any 31 to 100, that's going to be a robbery. It is a 317, and that ball just is out of reach. Chris Taylor, who jumps at the wall and can't bring it back, and that is going to be a solo home run for Fernando Tatis, who got under it a little bit, but he gets enough of it to get it out into left center, and it's now 6-2. So that's how the Rob home run works. Pretty easy, not difficult, but all the conditions have to just kind of work out just right for it to happen. All right, Cronenworth against Dustin May, so a +1, -1. So this goes, this is a ground ball. That goes to third base, 179. Who's the third baseman? Muncy. He's got an error rating of a -6. So when we look up here at our error rating, we have a 179. That's here. He's a -6, and that's going to be a boot from Max Muncy, who can't handle the ground ball. E5 on Muncy. And Cronenworth is aboard with 1 out and 1 already in for the Padres. Machado struck out in his last at bat. He's got a 1 to 11 advantage, so this is a 471 off of May's card, which is a fly ball. That goes to left field. 005, possibility of an error in left field. Chris Taylor again. Taylor's error rating is a 0, and a 1 to 30 is an error, and so we have a 005 and a couple of errors in the inning back to back as Taylor takes his eyes off of it, and that's going to be a 1 base error. Defense falling apart a little bit for the Dodgers. They're up 6-2, and the dangerous Juan Soto is up to the plate. Soto with a single and a run scored in his first at bat. Against right-handers, he's a +5. Against left-handers, he's a 0. So 1 to 15 goes to Soto. It's a 9, and that is a 656. 656 is going to be a walk. Soto took a lot of those. Excellent on-base percentage. In fact, against right-handers, it's 350 is his on-base percentage. 790 OPS. 20% walk percentage against left-handed or right-handed pitching. You have all those stats down here to kind of see how they did against each of the different splits. All right, bases loaded. So that's 2 off of May. Bases loaded for Xander Bogaerts. We have he's a +3, he's a -1, so 1 to 12 goes to Bogaerts. This is a 0-1-0, that's a grounder. To 122, that's a grounder to first base. First baseman is going to make the play. So let's check out our chart here. So grounder to first base, we have bases loaded. It's an 893. 893 puts us here. So we're going to go 3-6 on the put out. And the runners are going to advance appropriately. So tried to turn 2, but couldn't turn 2. So you have fielder's choice here. And then he is going to be out on the fielder's choice. That's out number 2. He advances, he scores. And that's an RBI for Xander Bogaerts. So could have been a lift to the team to be able to turn 2, but they got the high roll, and it kept them from turning 2. You can see all the rolls here in the middle are like, some are automatic double plays, some are you have to roll for double play. This one is a 3-2 double play, so he throws home, and then you have to see if there's a double play at first. So there's some definite different things there. I'm not sure if I moved that, so I'm not going to. I might miss something, but it'll be okay. So Matt Carpenter is up. He grounded to second base in his last at-bat. It's now 6-3, LA over San Diego. San Diego trying to creep back into this one. We get a -2, so 1-8 goes to Carpenter. So that'll work. 959 is going to be a hit. That is a single. 167 is a base knock. That's going to drive in this runner. And let's find out what happens with Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts runs at a -1. That's a single to a line drive to left center field. It's picked up by the left fielder. And going first to third, left center field. That's going to be a player's choice. So he runs at a -1. The left fielder is Chris Taylor. What kind of arm does Chris Taylor have? Taylor's got a +1. So that would come off of the base runner. So it would have to be this middle column. So 21 to 84. So that's about a 63% chance of making it to third. I think we'll just hold him and give him a chance to hold up at second base. So tough inning here for May. He's trying to get out of the third. He's already given up 3. And Ha-Seong Kim comes to the plates. This is an 854. That'll be another hit. This time 586 is another base hit, another single. That is into left center field. And let's see, Bogaerts is a -1 running. So left center field, he is going to score. And Matt Carpenter is a -1. We'll keep him at second base. So that's going to be another one down. RBI single there for Ha-Seong Kim, who's got 2 RBIs in the game. Been productive, as it's now 6-5. And let's go out and do a mound visit. And that gives Dustin May a little bit more. He's facing Trent Grisham now, and it's a 1-8 for Grisham. So this goes off the pitcher card. 109 is a grounder. 415, that'll be a ground ball to second base. Play is made at second base by Miguel Vargas. And let's see about the results. So play at second base, we have runners at first and second. A 342 is here, and that's going to be a 4-3 put out with runners at first and second. When you're using this chart with 2 outs, you want to use the result in parentheses. So we go 4-3 on the put out, and that'll be out number 3. Mercifully, the Dodgers are out of the inning, but they do give up 4 runs, and it's now 6-5. As this one turning into a race. When you're playing this game, you need some time. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Like, it should be like savoring a steak. This is not fast food. This is not how fast can you get through it. It's like really savoring every moment of all the different pieces of the game. And it's going to give you a lot of detail in the game. So just a heads up on that. Hopefully it's enjoyable to you. It's probably more enjoyable to play than to watch, but I do want to show people how it's played, especially at all the different iterations. All right, so Blake Snell is facing off against Rojas Thompson and Mookie Betts. Rojas, his first at bat, walked and scored on the Betts home run. We got Blake Snell as a lefty, so 2 and a -6, so a 1, 2, 6 goes to Rojas. This will be a 394 for Snell. That's a line drive. Line drive to left is caught by the left fielder Soto as he comes in and makes a nice running catch for out number 1. Brings up Trace Thompson. He got on with an E4 his last time up. So Trace Thompson, a -1, and that means he's a -7, so 1 to 3 to Trace Thompson. 443 is going to be a strikeout for Blake Snell. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 Ks for Snell. We don't move his stamina because it was a strikeout. And that's going to bring up Mookie Betts. Betts with a launch to center field in his first at-bat. He's a +4, so he's a 1 to 8 for Mookie Betts. This time it's going to come off the pitcher card. 728 against a righty is going to be, 728. That's going to be a walk. So Betts on base with the walk. And he steals at a 0. He's actually not a great thiever, but Snell does not, for a lefty, holds people on terribly. He's a -3. Sullivan's arm is a 0. So that -3 actually translates into a +3 for Mookie Betts. He's going to try and steal a bag here. He's a +3 on this steal attempt, which puts him here. A 610 is going to be in the green. He's safe, and he swipes a bag and gets himself into scoring position with 2 outs. We already did that. So Mookie Betts in scoring position for Freddie Freeman. Freeman doubled in his first at-bat, flied out in his last at-bat. Against the lefty is a +3. Against the lefty is a -2, so 1 to 11 for Freeman. 437 for Snell. That's going to be a strikeout as he gets him on the breaking ball. And that's out number 3. So the Dodgers strand a runner in scoring position. They don't score in the bottom of the 3rd, and it is 6 to 5. Dodgers over the Padres in this one. Dustin May out for the 4th inning. Facing off against Brett Sullivan, then back to the top with Tatis and Cronenworth. He's a -2, so this goes off the pitcher card. 298 against a lefty is a fly ball, and it's a fly out to left. A 0-18 could be a problem. Let's see who's the left fielder. Chris Taylor. Is he going to make another? I don't know if it was him that made the error before. He's a 0. So a 0-18 is going to be an error on the left fielder. Is that the second of the game for him? It is. He's having a hard time out in left field, trying to make the plays and just is not able to. So that will send him down. We got a runner at first base. And Tatis to the plate. He homered in his last at bat. This is going to go Tatis's way. A 179 against a righty is going to be a ground ball to second base. The play is made. We got a runner at first. So we're here. A 758. See here, so a 4-6 double play opportunity. We're looking at the 6, so we're looking at the shortstop's double play number. See if we can turn 2. So we're definitely going to go, this guy's out on the fielder's choice. So that's what the 4-6 means. The question mark means we have to roll for the double play. So then we look at the shortstop. That is Rojas. And his double play rating is a 1. So we'll remember that. So we're rolling off the double play, this column here. It's an 892. 892 is here, and that's going to be a fielder's choice. So they can't turn the double play. As Tatis beats it out, that's going to be 4-6 on the fielder's choice. So many opportunities to help Blake Snell out, but the walks at this point just killing him. Brings up Cronenworth. This will be off Cronenworth's card. So a 1-8, 053. Another grounder. This time to almost had a 3 of a kind there. A grounder to 667 is the grounder to short. 220. That's going to be a play made by the shortstop. Still a runner at first base. So we're looking here, and 337, 6-4 DP, and now we need to roll off of the second baseman's double play. So Tatis will be out. And the other Miguel we need to check. This time it's Vargas. Vargas double play rating is a 1. Yeah. It's 1, so the same thing in the same column. This time we get a 389, and that is going to be a good turn at second base. And they turn the double play to get out of the inning. We'll go 6-4-3. No movement here because it's for the batter and then for the double play. And that's a good job by Blake Snell getting a couple of ground outs there. Quells any threat. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning at 6-5. LA over San Diego. Dustin May coming out for the 4th. I'm sorry. That was Dustin May. I'm moving the wrong guy. So I would have moved him 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. All right, Blake Snell. I've been looking off the wrong guy the whole time. So this is going to be Snell against Will Smith and JD Martinez and Chris Taylor. You were probably all really confused about that, why I was not reading off of Dustin May. So Will Smith, a 4. He's facing a lefty and a righty, so he's a 1-5. So this goes off Smith's card. 495 against the lefty is a line drive. And that liner goes to right field. And the right fielder is who? Fernando Tatis. He's going to make the play out in right. That's going to be out number 1. Snell down to 5 on his stamina. I guess that should be 1. He shouldn't have gone all the way down. He should have gone to just 1. Up next is JD Martinez. Martinez against lefties is a 0. So he's a 1 to 4. A 0-0-1 is going to be a ground ball. Grounder goes to second base. The play is made by the second baseman, Cronenworth. And 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th for Blake Snell. So off Snell's card, a 941 is going to be a hit. And that will be a double by Chris Taylor. And that's a double off the wall in center field. Let's see if there's an error out there. No error on the play. So Chris Taylor cruises into second base after a couple of strikeouts in this one. But he tags one off of Snell. That goes off the center field wall. And he is in scoring position with 2 outs. Brings Max Muncy to the plate. Muncy on with a hit by pitch and a walk so far. A 605 is going to be a strikeout for Blake Snell. So the Dodgers strand 1 in scoring position. They still lead 6-5. A lot of fireworks early, and hasn't been much since. Dustin May goes out for the 5th. He's going to be facing off against Manny Machado. Machado +2, so he's a 1 to 11. 624, and that's a line drive off of May's card. Liner to center field. Coming in hard on it is the center fielder Thompson, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Brings up Juan Soto. Soto, a tough customer. He's walked and singled. He's also scored a run. Against righties, he is a +5. Against lefties, he's a 0. So 1 to 15 goes to Soto. He has a huge advantage. 342 is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball to left. 880 is a good catch, as the left fielder is Taylor, and he makes the catch this time. It's a terrible F. Keep moving the wrong guy. I think that's where I need like some sort of chart, not a chart, but like a game board type thing where I can print out a couple of sides and just have home and away, and would help to keep everything a little bit more straight. As it is right now, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything. Xander Bogaerts to the plate. He's the DH. He's RBI ground out in his last at bat. So he's a +3. He's a 1 to 12, and it is a 12. So this goes off Bogaerts' card. That'll be a grounder. Grounder to second base is picked up by the second baseman. That's Miguel Vargas. He gets it over to first, and that's out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning. I believe the first 1-2-3 inning for Dustin May. So that's going to leave his stamina there, because you get a. I don't have it listed here, but I've always been playing it as a 1-2-3 inning, and you get a +1. I think 1-2-3 innings are conducive to keeping you in the game as well, and so just want to make sure I work that in there. So we head to the bottom of the 5th. The Dodgers are up 6-5 on the Padres. Blake Snell goes out for the 5th inning. He'll face off against Vargas, Rojas, and Thompson, so bottom of the order here. 0 against lefties, -6, so 1 to 4 to the batter. Doesn't matter. 0-11 is a grounder, and that goes out to second base. The second baseman is Cronenworth. He'll make a good throw over to first base, and that's out number 1. Both pitchers starting to settle in this one. Miguel Rojas is the batter. This will come off of Snell's card. 755 against a righty is going to be a walk. So that's a tough one. Another walk for Blake Snell. As he goes all the way down to 0. And then you'll be able to see here what happens. So when we get down to 0, all we do is we don't even need to roll the D20 anymore. We just go straight off of the batter card. 808. That's going to be a hit by pitch as Snell comes in too hard. Second batter that he's hit. That's going to be runners at first and second base. With 1 out. A 919. Oh boy. This is Betts again. 919 is going to be a double. So double. Blooper to left field. So he's out in front of it, but he bloops it down the left field line. That's going to score this guy. He's going to go to third. Trace Thompson runs at a 0. So, and the left fielder is Soto. I want to say Soto's got a good arm. He does. He's a +1. So I'm going to keep the runner at third. So we're going to have runners at second and third. That's going to be the end of the line for Blake Snell. Tough day for him. But we're going to get him out of the game. Mookie Betts now with 5 RBIs. He's got a home run, a double, and a walk. Threw in a stolen base on top of that. And let me go ahead and get a new pitcher for the Padres. All right, into the game is Pedro Avila. He's going to replace Blake Snell. Snell 4 1/3, 6 hits, 7 runs so far. Could be more. 5 walks and 6 strikeouts. So not a great start for him. Avila, 16 stamina, so we're going to start him right back here. And he's facing off against Freddie Freeman. Freeman against a righty is a +5. And he's a 0, so 1 to 15 will be the advantage. It is a 15, so this will be off Freddie's card. 386 is a line drive. 143 is a liner to left. 158, let's check the left fielder. Left fielder is Soto. Soto is an error rating of 0, so he'll make the catch on the liner. As Freddie Freeman shoots it the other way. That'll be out number 2 on the catch. Let's see if there's any runner advancement. As we have a runners at second and third. It's an 826. 826, runners at second and third is here. And no runner advancement as it's going to be a short line drive into left. So both runners hold where they are. 2 down now with Will Smith coming to the plate. Smith, the catcher for the Dodgers, all-star catcher. He is a 1 to 11. It's a 12 though, and that's going to be an 858. So that comes off of Avila. That'll be a base hit. 731 against a righty is a double, and that is a double. A line drive to right center field. It's picked up by the center fielder. Is there an error? 942. No error on the play. So double to right center field is going to score this runner. And this runner. So a bases clearing double for Will Smith. And the Dodgers keep piling it on. Smith with a 2-bagger. He runs at a 1. The center fielder is Trent Grisham. got a -2 arm. I think Will Smith is going to try for the triple. So I got a -2 arm. It's on the outfielder to try to throw him out. Let's see if this is a triple. A 31 to 100, he'll be thrown out at third base. A 130 is going to be safe at third as Will Smith, chugging, gets in for a 2 RBI triple out into right center field. And it is, the route is on. So 9 to 5 now. Runs aplenty in this one. JD Martinez to the plates. Martinez with a, this will come off the pitcher, 816. Boy, just bad luck, bad rolls. 330 is going to be a single from JD Martinez. That'll be an RBI single. I don't think Martinez is going to be going anywhere on a single, so Chris Taylor up. And a 700 is a walk from Avila, who is not providing any relief in this one. Trying to get some innings out of somebody, but he is really blowing it here. Muncy against a right-handed pitcher is a 1, so that's a 1 to 11 to him. 198 will be a grounder. It goes to short. Shortstop makes the play. And let's see what happens on the play. A 21 with runners at first and second. 21 is going to be a 6-5. Oh, we have 2 outs, huh? We have 2 outs, so we take the 6-3 put out. So we go across the diamond, 6-3, and that's going to be the 3rd out. So the inning mercifully over. The Dodgers score 4 more, and they take a 10-6 lead over the Padres. It's a tough inning. And let's see if the Padres can come back. They have Dustin May. He is at 2. We'll see how he goes. This could be the last inning for him, depending on how he rolls through the order. It's the bottom of the order. Matt Carpenter, Ha-Seong Kim, and Trent Grisham for the Padres. So a -2, or sorry, a -1, 1 to 9 here. So 181 goes off of May's card. This is going to be a grounder to the shortstop. No problem there, as Rojas makes the play. Wings it over to first. Freddie for the squeeze. And that will be out number 1. Ha-Seong Kim now, second baseman. It's 1 for 2. He's got 2 RBIs actually against a righty, so he's even Steven. A 100 is going to be another ground ball from May. This will be a ground ball to Freddie Freeman at first. He scoops it up. We'll just say that he takes it to the bag himself. Freeman, a pretty athletic first baseman. And Ha-Seong Kim is out. And for the first at bat, does not get an RBI. Brings up Trent Grisham. Grisham with a strikeout and a ground out in this one. He's 478. That's going to be a strikeout. So we go strikeout here. Guess we didn't need to figure out really whether it was, because he was on a 0. And so Dustin May ends the 6th inning with a strikeout. That's a 1-2-3 inning. He's actually going to get a little +1 there. I think that's probably going to be the end of the line for him, though. As he gives the Dodgers 6 strong, he gives up 5 runs. But the Dodgers have scored 10, so He's still in line for the win. And we'll leave Avila out there. He's going to face off against Vargas, Rojas, and Thompson. Bottom of the order for the Dodgers. Vargas against a right-hander is a 0. So 1-9 for the batter. A 0-0-2 is a ground ball. It's going to be a ground ball to second base, and the second baseman is Vargas. He'll make the play. We're here, right? Out number 1 for Avila, who was trying to right the ship after giving up 4 runs. Actually, he only gave up 1 run. He allowed this one to score, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 runs. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, so 8 of them are earned. Alright, so that closes the book on Snell officially, I guess. 9 runs, 8 of them earned. Tough day, a lot of walks, so just a tough day. Miggy Rojas. Rojas, a former Miami Marlin. He's facing off against, those two are even. So this is a 61. That'll be a ground ball. It goes out to the shortstop. The shortstop is Hassan Kim. Easy play to first. And that's going to be out number 2. Brings up Trace Thompson. Thompson, a right-handed batter, so he's a 1-8. 396. That's going to be a strikeout for Avila. He gets a 1-2-3 inning to shut down the Dodgers. So interesting here. 1 for the batter faced, 1 for the strikeout, so adding 1, and then he gets 1 for a 1-2-3 inning. So he actually added to his stamina a little bit, gets a little bit of a boost. And so you can see how things fluctuate and move just a little bit with the stamina. But, you know, what this does is ensures that you can, the pitcher has an opportunity to control the at-bat. If he's on 0, he can't control the at-bat. It's only off the batter. So it's kind of where you are. Dustin May. Let's see if he can get the catcher out. Guess right-handed pitching. He's gonna be a 1-8. It's a 9. 658 off of May's card is gonna be a strikeout. So he strikes out Sullivan. May heading into the 7th inning. So you can see how the stamina works. We didn't move his stamina because he had a strikeout. So he's at 27 batters right now. His stamina is a 21, but because he's pitching well enough, specifically not giving up a lot of walks and getting strikeouts, double plays. He has a double play here. He's got some strikeouts. So there's some things working for him that are keeping him sort of in the game where he can still control the at-bat. So let's see how he does against Tatis. He's got a big lead. And let's see if he can get through the inning. So just because it says 21 or just because you make it to 0 doesn't necessarily mean you got to take him out of the game. It just means that he comes down to a real disadvantage. So right-hander, so this goes off of Tatis, 895. 895 against a right-handed batter or right-handed pitcher is a base knock. And Tatis with a, excuse me, that's a grounder up the middle and into center field. Second hit of the game for Tatis. And I think it's time to bring in a new pitcher. So let me get a new pitcher for the Dodgers. All right, the new pitcher is going to be Alex Vesia, left-handed pitcher for the Dodgers. He can go 4 batters. He'll be replacing Dustin May. May goes 6 1/3, 5 hits, 5 runs so far, and only 1, 2, I think only 3 of those have been earned up to this point. So needed someone to come in against a couple of tough lefties, Cronenworth and Soto. Machado is going to have to deal with him. But you can see that he's tough against left-handed batters. A minus for a pitcher is good. Plus for a batter is good. So that's how you can kind of think about that. But he's pretty decent against righties, but tough against lefties. Got 2 lefties coming up. Just want to make sure we get him in the game. And just in case he has to face Soto as well. So Cronenworth is against lefties is a 0. Another good reason he doesn't hit lefties as well. And he's a -3. So 1 7 for Cronenworth. This goes off the pitcher. 298 against a lefty is a line drive. 332. That's a liner to left field, and the play is going to be made by the left fielder. The left fielder is Chris Taylor. So he'll make the catch for out number 2. Let's see if there's any movement with that runner at first. I think it's all if I want to, so I'm not going to do anything there. Tatis at first is going to hold, and that's going to bring up Manny Machado. So against lefties, Machado is a 2. Vesia against righties is a -1. So 1 to 11. And Manny Machado will get the advantage. He doesn't. 797, though, is going to be a hit for Manny. 234. Against lefties, that's going to be a base knock. That is a ground ball into left field. Even with 2 outs, Tatis is going to stop at second. So Manny sneaks one in between third and short into left field. Brings up Juan Soto. Again, this is the reason I wanted to bring in the lefty, because he would have to face him. So +2 here, -3 here, so 1 to 9. And Soto does get the advantage here. 557. So against a lefty pitcher, 557 is going to be a strikeout. So good job by me, bringing in a guy who can get that strikeout. That's going to be the end of the inning. No run score there. No movement here because it was a strikeout. So we're going to head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 10 to 5. 10 to 5 is our score. LA over San Diego. LA is going to send the top of the order up. We're going to leave Avila in there against Betts. We'll see how Avila does. He's still got 9 on his stamina. Just needed to provide some length there after Snell only went 4 1/3. Betts is a +5 against righties. He's a -1. That means it is a +4 to Betts. So 1 to 14, Betts will get the advantage. It's a 6. 185 against righties is going to be a little mess up there. It should be a 125. Mookie Betts against right-handed pitching. I believe it was a fly ball. Fly ball goes out to center field. 222. Is there something about that on the error? Nothing about the errors. We would have like an unusual error kind of thing, I guess. 222 is going to be a catch. So Betts flies out to center field, and that'll be out number 1. Brings up Freddie Freeman. Freeman 1 for 4. He had a double back in the first and scored. Against right-handers, he's a +5. So 1 to 15 goes to Freddie. 851 against a right-hander is going to be a single. Freddie with the second hit of the day. That is a little blooper to right field as he gets out in front of it and bloops it into right field just fair. He runs at a +1. The right fielder is Tatis. His arm is a 7. I don't think we're going to run on that arm. So Freddie Freeman takes a big turn, but goes back to first, and he's at first base with 1 out. Will Smith to the plate. He's got a 1 to 11 chance at controlling the at-bat. A 157 is going to be a grounder. That grounder goes out to the shortstop. Shortstop makes the play, and let's see about the results. So runner at first base, hit to short. 258 is here, and that's going to be a 6-4 double play chance. So we need to roll off with the second baseman, Cronenworth. So we're going to be out here on the fielder's choice. That's out number 2, and we'll see what Cronenworth's double play rating is. It is a 0. So we have our double play chart here. This one on a 0, a 716 is here. Oh, and they just missed turning the double play. So it's going to be a fielder's choice as Will Smith just beats it out at first. So it goes 6-4 on that. There are 2 outs in the inning, and that will bring up JD Martinez. Martinez, 2 for 4. He's got a couple of singles and an RBI. Facing Avila. He's a 1 to 9 to control. So Avila with control. 759 is going to be a hit by pitch. That'll put runners at first and second as Avila plunks them. Brings up Chris Taylor. Taylor to the plate, 1 to 8. He'll control. 885. That's going to be a hit for Chris Taylor. 425 is going to be a single. And the Dodgers keep piling it on. This is a line drive to left center field. It's going to be the center fielder who picks it up. So a line drive to left center field. Second to home. Will Smith is going to score. JD Martinez. He runs at a -3. And that's going to be a no-go. So he's going to be at second base, but that's an RBI single for Chris Taylor. Taylor now 2 for 4 with an RBI. Stretches the lead out to 11-5. One there. Brings up Max Muncy to the plate. Left-handed batter. He's a +1. So a 1 to 11 to Muncy. A 150 is going to be a ground ball off of Avila's card. Grounder to right back to the pitcher. Pitcher's going to make the play. And let's see what happens on the play. So we do have a play here for the pitcher. Got runners at first and second with 2 outs. There's 2 outs, right? Yeah, 2 down. A 434 is here. Runners at first and second. That's just a 1-3 put out. So he gets it over to first, and that's going to be the end of the inning. But the Dodgers do put one more on the board in the 7th. It's now 11-5, and Avila's here. Next Muncy is out. We'll have to bring in a new Padres pitcher to end the game. That's 3 pretty decent innings. He had some trouble in the 4th. He really only gave up the 2 runs here. A couple of those runs in this inning here were charged to the starter Snell. Alex Vesia, he's really just a 1-inning guy. Let's go ahead and get a new pitcher for the Dodgers. All right, the new pitcher for the Dodgers is going to be Ryan Yarbrough. He's got a stamina of 15, left-handed pitcher. He'll be facing off against Xander Bogaerts, Matt Carpenter, and Ha-Seong Kim. Bogaerts against lefties is a +1. Yarbrough against righties is a 0. This comes off of Yarbrough's card. It's going to be a grounder. That is a ground ball to first. Freeman is going to pick that. He's going to toss it to Yarbrough covering, and that's going to be a 3-1 put out for out number 1. Xander Bogaerts now 0 for 3. He does have an RBI and a walk. Carpenter 1 for 3 in the game. He has a single. He doesn't have anything against left-handed pitching, so everything is going to come off of Yarbrough and his versus left. So we can ignore that safely. 356 is going to be a fly ball. And that's a fly ball to center field. 228, that's a catch made out in center field by Trace Thompson. It's out number 2. And Matt Carpenter is down for the 3rd time in this game. Ha-Seong Kim to the plate. Kim, 2 RBIs. He does have a single as well. He grounded out to Freddie Freeman at first in his last at-bat. He's a right-handed batter against the lefty. So he's a +2 and a 0, so 1-12. Doesn't matter here. So it's a 401 to Yarbrough. 401 is going to be a fly ball. That's out to center field, and Thompson is there again to make the out. So 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Yarbrough. In the top of the 8th, we're going to give him 1 so he doesn't move because of the 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the 8th inning, let's get a new pitcher for the Padres. All right, new pitcher for the Padres is going to be Nick Martinez. Martinez, right-handed pitcher, can go 7 batters. So we've reflected that here with the 7 stamina. He'll be facing off against Vargas, Rojas, and Thompson. He replaces Pedro Avila. Avila 2 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 hit by pitch, and provided some good middle of the game relief. He did allow the runs. He allowed the run here to score. That was actually a triple. I did that before I figured the triple. So he allowed a 2-run triple. Both of those runs were attributed to Blake Snell, who just had a really rough go of it. So Martinez against the right-hander Martinez, or Vargas against Martinez. He's got a -2 advantage. So bottom of the 8th inning, it's 11-5. Dodgers over the Padres. This 4 means it goes to the batter. So an 832 off of a righty is going to be a base hit. That is an infield hit. 10 is an infield hit, infield single. So, adding insult to injury, Vargas with the infield single. He's now 1 for 3. Does have a run scored. Brings up Miggy Rojas, right-handed batter. He is going to be a 1-9. It is a 9, and so he gets control of the at-bat. 303 means it's going to be a fly ball. Fly ball is out to center field. The catch is made by the center fielder, Grisham. And let's see if there's any movement on our fly ball chart. A 0-0-5 could be center fielder, runner at first, and he's got to go. So this is a deep fly ball to center field. And the let's check everything out. So he runs at a 0. The center fielder's Grisham. Everybody's right here, so we can see it. A -2. So this is going to be on Trent Grisham to have to throw him out going to second base. A -2 is here. So it's got to be a 31 to 100, and he's out at second. Otherwise, he's safe, and he is in there with the tag up from first. Nice play on a high fly ball to deep center field. And Trent Grisham can't throw out Miggy Vargas, or Miguel Vargas. So we got a runner at second base now with 1 out. And Trace Thompson to the plate. Thompson is 0 for 3. He's got a couple of punch outs. So I should take 1 off there. And a 2 is going to go off the batter. 973 is going to be a 2-bagger. And the Dodger offense has just been relentless. This is a ground rule double. So a 10 on a double is going to be a ground rule double. So he goes into second base. That means he's going to score. And that's an RBI ground rule double for Trace Thompson. Thompson now 1 for 4. It's going to bring on Mookie Betts. Betts coming to the plate. It's quite a day. He's got a home run, a double. He's got 5 RBIs. He threw in a walk, so 2 for 4 with 5 ribbies. He's facing the right-hander. He's a +5 and a -2, which means he's a 1 to 13. So 316 off the right-hander is going to be a line drive. That's a liner to right. 930 should be a good catch. It will be. So a line drive to right. That's out number 2. Let's check, see if there's any movement from that runner at second base. It's a 206 on our liner to right. 206 is going to be my choice. I'm going to hold him at second base. I believe he can still score. So runner holds at second base, and that's going to bring up Freddie Freeman. The 16 means it's going to go to Martinez. A 271 against a lefty is a fly ball. 242, that's a fly to left. And out in left field, that's going to be a can of corn for Juan Soto as he squeezes it for out number 3. So the Dodgers get 1 on the RBI double from Trace Thompson. To take a 12-5 lead over the Padres. And for the Padres, in the top of the 9th inning, they're going to face off against Yarbrough. Yarbrough is going to stay in the game. It'll be Grisham, Sullivan, and Tatis. Trent Grisham against the lefty is a 0. Yarbrough is a +1, so that's going to be a 1/11 to Grisham. A 1/1/1 is a ground ball. That goes to second base as he rolls over it. 241. That's going to be a good catch at second base. And the second baseman is Vargas. He gets it over to Freddie Freeman for out number 1. Grisham is the first out. In the 9th, down to their last 2 outs, Brett Sullivan stands in. He reached on an error. Otherwise, he's got a strikeout and a line out to his resume. Against lefties, he's a blank, so we're going to go off of Yarbrough. 357 is going to be a fly ball. And 699, okay, it's not a 3 of a kind. 699 goes out to center field, a 134. It's a possible error. Let's check out Trace Thompson. Possible error, he's a 0. So no error on the play. Thompson makes the play out in center field, and that will be out number 2. Brings up Fernando Tatis Jr. He's had a decent game. Got hit by a pitch in the first. It's caught stealing, though. He had a home run, solo home run back in the second, and a single in his last at-bat. Against the lefty, he's a +2. Against the righty, he's a 1. So 1/12 be Tatis. A 0/12 is going to be a ground ball. He scorches one to second base. No problem there for Vargas. That's a 1-2-3 inning. And the Padres are shut down in this one, as the Dodgers are going to win 9, 10, 11, 12 to 5. And I will come back with the totals. All right, and we are back with the totals. LA wins this one 12-5. For San Diego, it's 5 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. For the Dodgers, it's 12 runs on 12 hits, excuse me, and 3 errors. The win is going to go to Dustin May. And Blake Snell with the loss. Snell 4 1/3, 6 hits, 9 runs, 8 are earned. 6 strikeouts, but balances that out with 5 walks. For May, it was 6 1/3, 5 hits, 5 runs, only 3 earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Said quite a few errors here by the Dodgers. Specifically, it was Trace Thompson, right? He had a couple of errors in center field. So Yarbrough comes in, 2 perfect innings at the end of the game to shut down the Padres, any threat at the end of the game. So this is precision baseball, and you can see quite detailed in the game. It's going to take you a little bit of time to work your way through it, especially with doing the pitching the way I was doing it. But I think just it's actually, if you like to kind of think your way through the game and figure things out and have a lot of moving parts, I think you're going to really enjoy it. It's a highly detailed game. It's getting more detailed by the day. We had one chance to rob a home run, which was nice. We had a chance to kind of work mound visits in, which was really cool. And so just, really adding some details into the game. If you want to be an official tester, let me know. I've got, I think it's maybe 6 or 8 teams out there that you can test right now. And just play it and see what's going on with the game. Is there something that can be added in or something that's not quite right? Or are there errors anywhere on the charts of the cards? Suggestions about how to do different things. I'm totally cool with that. So just let me know what you're thinking and what we can do to make the game better. The game is going to be really detailed, something like a Diamond Mind type of game where there's a lot of sort of moving pieces to each play. Some plays go really quickly. If it's a 1-2-3 inning, it's going to go really fast. But as soon as you start getting runners on base or getting hits, and especially hits with runners on base, you start to get into some more detail in the game. You know, you can see this is a pretty highly detailed with runners on base chart, and these are pretty highly detailed charts for runner advancement about what to do. And this is for mostly base hits and what do you do on singles, you know, runner advancement on singles and that type of thing. So there's quite a bit of detail here. So just let me know what you think about that. You can join the Facebook group, and then that will you can get those files to download and play. So let me know. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's all really helpful. And I think that's it. So let me know what you think of what's going on here, and I'll keep playing it and see how everything turns out. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.